Mending it together. A world on fire can't last forever. We're gonna mend it together. A stitch in time is gonna save nine. A stitch in time is gonna save nine. And I wanna be a catalyst for change. Trying something different. I wanna change the rules of the game. 'Cause even the smallest bird can fly up to the top of the tree. And I wanna be a catalyst and find out what could be. Together. Some say hope is a thing with feathers. We're gonna dream together. It sings a song, never stops at all. It sings a song, never stops at all. And I wanna be a catalyst. Trying something different. I wanna change the rules of the game. 'Cause even the smallest bird can fly up to the top of the tree. And I wanna be a catalyst and find out what could be.
Welcome to Catalyzing Change Week. This year's Catalyzing Change Week is about solutions from the front lines by social innovators.
In 2022, Catalyst 2030 concentrated its efforts on bringing proximate leaders and frontline solutions to the forefront. Collaborations led by members from the Global South produced groundbreaking reports on climate and transforming education, with an emphasis on offering local solutions. We continued our mission to create an enabling environment for social entrepreneurs to flourish by initiating a letter to donors, signed by more than 1,200 social entrepreneurs and innovators. The Catalyst 2030 awards ceremony was spectacular, and the awards themselves welcomed by the private sector, governments, bio multilaterals and donors.
Catalyst 2030 as a movement is disruptive.
One of the best things I think that's come out of Catalyst 2030 so far is incredible collaboration across the ecosystem that just didn't exist before Catalyst came into being.
The thing I love most about Catalyst is that it's an open movement for social entrepreneurs around the world.
I'd encourage anyone who's looking to be more connected with their local communities around social development goals to come along to Catalyzing Change Week.
Welcome to Catalyzing Change Week.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our last session of the day. I guess all of us are just like moving from session to another, and I hope this final session is up to your expectations and beyond. I'm Rafran, I'm the Managed Chapters Coordinator, and I will be also helping Dr. Atif in this session. I would just like to mention a few housekeeping, and of course, most of you are familiar with that. Just if you can, if it's possible, keep your videos on. Share your name and your organization by renaming yourself on Zoom. Unmute whenever you want to share. Raise hand whenever you want to also share your thoughts. And most importantly, enjoy. And if you faced any technical issues, please reach out to me or just click on Zoom us support. I will pass that now. I'll stop sharing, and I will pass the mic on to Dr. Atif.
Dear colleagues and friends, Thank you so much for joining me today in our session. I'm so happy to meet you all, and I think we will take good discussions about one of very important topics nowadays, that is climate change and fashion, or fashion and the climate change. Actually, I think that if we wanted to just to achieve the social development goals, SDGs, that means that we have to be involved in many topics and in many issues, not only on the local level, but also on the global level. And of course, fashion or clothes or textile industry is one of that. So let us just, I will share with you the presentation, and I hope that it will be a very interactive discussions, webinar, and I think that we should, all of us participate in this webinar. Okay, just a minute, okay. Well, I'm just wanted to ask you, and anyone can just put his answers or comments on the chat box. So don't hesitate to contact me or to interact on this session. Yeah. I'm just going back to thousands of years when Adam and God created Adam and then Eve, and I was just wondering, what are the clothes of Adam and Eve? Yeah. Of course, yeah, many of us know that it's just only like leaves of trees, and it just only leaves was the only clothes at that time. Yeah. And historically, what happened to the man or the caveman became to to hunt animals and take the liver of the animals like deers or buffaloes or something like that, and make clothes for him and for his family. Because actually it was, the man at that time was struggling with the nature and with the animals, with the dangers around him. And the only way to protect his body, it's just only the lizards of the animals. Yeah. So what happened along thousands of years that, a development happened in the clothes. And now we see a very fashioned, designs and, clothes, trousers, skirts, blues, shirts, t-shirts, a lot of, inventions, the men did it in the last years or in the last centuries. Yeah. Want to just to ask you, and anyone can, just open the mic, yeah, and let us just answer this question. Which color do you like most and why? Can anybody just answer me?
I can start.
Yeah.
When it comes to color of clothes, it's blue or yellow. Blue because it's my favorite color, and yellow because it gives me a good feeling.
This is a good answer, actually. Yeah. So we will not talk about the psychology of the colors, but all of us is that most of us, like for me, I like the white and the blue. That is my favorite colors in clothes. Yeah. But okay, well, anyone else? Yeah. Which color do you like most and why? Yeah. Okay, let us just move to the next slide. Yeah. This is not just a questions, it's multiple questions actually. As you see here, in the pictures that, different kinds of clothes here. And I'd like to just to say to you that, the which kind of clothes do you like to wear in seasons? What I mean by seasons, summer, winter, autumn, spring. So it seems that, in Africa, they like, certain clothes, which is vivid colors and maybe check, colors and something like that. But, see, what happened to the Gulf area. They like, to wear, white colors, which we call it galabeya. And even, in the Muslim world, there is certain, colors or common colors and the clothes most of female and male they wear in Islamic or in Islamic countries, even in Europe or something like that. So what happened that we can wear something in something different in Asia or in Europe, or even in Latin America. It's very important to know that, when we wear the clothes, it depends on, the seasons. And, so what happened in our daily life that we can change maybe 2 or 3 uniforms or clothes at that time. Okay, I'm just to for example, do you see this lady? And do you like to wear this kind of clothes? Or this man, or this young man? It seems that, the connection is a little unstable. Sorry, I'm so sorry. It seems that the internet is unstable there. Okay, well, some people like to wear this kind of fashion. And sometimes, people don't reject this kind of clothes because actually it's not appropriate to them, or even it's not appropriate to their culture. I want to just to say that there is a very famous fashion designer. She is from France, and her name is Coco Chanel. And I think that this is a very she is a very well-known designer, and it has a very good story. If anyone can just Google it on the Google and see, the story, because it's, this lady started from zero until she established and founded, the Emperor of Coco Chanel, which is everywhere in the world. So it seems so when I just, presented this kind of slides or this fashions, that everyone has his own ideas, and it seems that the way we live, it has a very effect or impacts on our way when we live in the countries. So she said, a very good statement. Fashion is not only in dresses and outfits, but it's a sense of thinking, ideas, and the way. And that is what I wanted to say to you. It's
Dr. Atif, maybe if you shut down the video, probably you will have a better connection, because you keep cutting off.
Uniforms and fashions from South.
Can you hear me? Dr. Atif? Yes. We are still having. Oh, I think Dr. Atif has dropped. Hello, everyone. It would be a good chance to also learn about your experience so far with catalyzing Change Week, and learn more about your organizations. I see some familiar names, and Qais, I already know you. Dr. Atif? No. Until Dr. Atif joins, would anyone like to introduce herself or himself to us, and what brought you to this session? Rushva. Hello.
Hi. So I was actually very interested in this session because last year I launched something called the Fashion Forward Fellowship, which was the first of its kind here in India, where we mentored 8 young designers and got them to launch fully sustainable fashion collections. And this was covered by Vogue and Elle and Grazia and everyone else. So I was very interested in this because of that.
That's amazing. And I've just learned also about one of our members in India who have I don't know if you know her, but she has the I totally forgot the name of the but she has a factory where they produce actually slow fashion, and they
Right.
use you know, like reusable materials and recycled. I have to share with you the name. She's amazing. Her name is if you give me a second, I can remember. But she was with us in one of the sessions about climate solutions, and
Right.
she presented her solution as one of the climate solutions, because actually the industry and the specifically clothes industry has a lot of effects on the carbon credits and how much it emits those carbon credits.
Yeah.
Bonko
The fashion,
Jonko. Yeah,
right.
Bonko Jonko, the name of the
I do know. In fact, when she launched her company, I was one of the mentors for the launch because I'm also on the board of a incubator that incubates such startups.
wow.
So
Bonko Jonko.
yeah.
I'll write it in the Bonko Jonko. Yeah. That's amazing to know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small world, so it's great.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yeah.
to get that insight. And I just hope the speaker comes back, but it was anyway great to have this conversation with you.
Absolutely. And Asha.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, Asha. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. And actually, like Rushwa said, so I have been interested in this space for a long time. I actually work for a health nonprofit called Swasti, and we're actively looking at the intersection of climate and health, but just individually, right? Because again, I come from a region that's known for its textile heritage. We talk about khadi, we talk about hand-spun clothing, hand-woven clothing, which is the most sustainable form of clothing. But now we have to deal with the forces of globalization, and I think like the speaker was presenting, there are all of these pressures from the fashion industry to veer another way, to kind
Guys,
of
can
push
you
us
hear
towards
me?
more. Sorry, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you
Go
both,
ahead.
Rushva and Asha, for sharing. That was amazing. Dr. Atif, can you hear us now?
Connection. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm just okay. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. I want to just to reshare, the presentation again, but it didn't work. Can you make just me as the co-host, Ghufran? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you want, I can also share the presentation from my side.
Okay. Yeah. I just I can make it from me, from here as a co-host. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
So
Go ahead.
for that,
We are all ears.
Oh yeah. Okay. Do you see now the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I'm just wanted to to ask you just very normal questions about what the clothes are made of. Of course, yeah, most of us know that, the clothes is made of cotton, maybe from wool or something like that. But just to show you, the percent of, materials used in making clothes or in making fashion. According to, scientific, data and research, what percent for most, the majority of, the clothes made from synthetic fibers. Yeah. It's about, more than 60%. And, cotton is just 24% and wool is just 1%, and other materials is 7%.
Dr. Atif?
And what you call it, polyester and synthetic fibers. Most of these synthetic fibers use t-shirts. What we need about 2,700 liters of water to produce a cotton t-shirt. What I mean by planting the cotton. So from the scratch, from the first seeds we put in the land, it means that the water needed to make a t-shirt, it's just only about 2,700 liters of water. And for me, it's just only I drink about 2.7 cubic meters and liters of water. And for women, she drinks about maybe 3 or 4 in climate, hot climate countries. Yeah. So it means that imagine that 2,700 liters is equivalent to 2.7 cubic meters. This is a huge amount of water. Yeah. And it may be we drink this in a long amount. We need to wash a t-shirt about just 2 times per month or a longer year. What will happen that we need a lot of water just to clean and wash, our t-shirts and our clothes here. And think of water used or we use in washing and in planting, especially the natural materials which we use like cotton and wool, for example. In Egypt, yeah, I'm just corrected that because actually one of the friends said told me that maybe it's more than 1 million tons of textile waste, but I'm just this is roughly number. In Egypt, yeah, we have about more than 1 million tons of textile waste are thrown into Egyptian landfill annually. Or maybe some people, get rid of by, making fires, something like that. So think also about, how many tons globally. Yeah, I'm just read a paper about that, and I discovered that, globally we have about 92 million tons. And 92 million tons of textile waste. This is a huge amount of waste or old textiles or old clothes, yeah, every year. So where we can do with this huge amount of textile waste. Just wanted to show you that the industry of textile and also the fashion industry has a long process from planting the cotton, for example, and then collections of the cotton, and then going to the factories, spinning and weaving factories, and then dyeing factories, which is very dangerous because it has chemicals. And then the ready-made clothes factories, so long process, and then in the sales or in the stores, and So it's a long chain for, the textile industry. But imagine that, that according to McKinsey,
Dr. Atif, it's still unstable, the connection. Dr. Atif, we still cannot hear you.
Actions is about an imagine.
Can you find maybe a spot that has a better oh, we lost Dr. Atif again. I guess this happens a lot when people are joining from different places. So hello, Bhavini, hello.
Hello.
I was just sharing about you. I think you already know Rujva, of course. Yeah, and I was just sharing like I learned about this new solution, and yeah, he also knew about
Thank you so much. And I miss so many things. Yeah, but yeah, it is wonderful to hear about this from so many people and learning, lots of learning. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I think we have been having this problem with connection since the beginning of the session. So hopefully now when he gets back, it's going to be better. But he was sharing more his thoughts and his experiences on, like climate change and what you were actually explaining to us, how much textiles and producing this kind of industry have effects on the climate. So he was sharing in general.
So if I will give a simple example from, for a general public, so to understand them better, if they are wearing a one shirt, so during making 10 shirts from the waste, the side cut scraps, we can make a one more new shirt or some garments, So it is like that. Otherwise, all the pieces will go to the landfill because it is for the manufacturer. It is a big challenge for them. Of course, on the financial and so many things and labor and all the things, and they are least bother about all that things, right? And there is no any compliances or any certifications, or they are not getting any benefits. So many challenges in the channel, and that is needed to be solved to take it this reduce the carbon emissions and all that things. And it is very easy if this solution is implemented from the initial stage. This will be the very, very easy, But yeah, everyone needs to take a first step towards that.
Absolutely. And I think earlier in our session today, someone posed the question about how about the secondhand or the second-used clothes? And you shared an interesting also answer to this, if you can also share with us. And putting into consideration the power dynamics that follow the secondhand use and, for example, the shipment of the secondhand, where it goes, from where it comes, and all of that also comes into consideration when we are in comparison between, for example, the industry that you're making and the secondhand use, and which one is more environmental friendly.
Exactly. So, as we said about this, from where it comes, where it goes, all the carbon emissions is created and all the things, that also we need to understand. Firstly, for the second hand, the reuse or all that things, that big challenges after COVID and all that things, the hygiene and everything is most taken care of, everyone is conscious about health and all that things. So the second hand, and I can say the swap and all that was in earlier, when from, we can say, from our grandmother, or it was in that channel earlier days, right? So they used to wear their sister's clothes, or cousins' clothes, and it is like in a normal things, but after the revolution and urbanizations, and everyone moves different places and all that things, the families are not at the same place and all that things. So yeah, that is a challenge. But yeah, nowadays many technology and many things are coming. They are working in that things, and they are also taking care of all the things. So this is a good initiative, to extend the life of the textiles or the garments. Yeah, but here, so yeah, I have a time to speak, or else I'm not disturbing any
No, you
speakers.
absolutely have a time. And I was also going to ask you more about the green fashion, if you can explain more about that. How would that be possible? How we can do that on our daily basis, and just in general, until of course Dr. Atif join us again.
Okay, so when he joins, let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let me introduce first of all myself. I'm Bhavini Parikh from India, and I'm the founder of the Banko Janko. Uh,
Yes, we can hear you.
yeah, because now, yes, I agree with her. So there is a huge demands, and because that is because of all the technology and all the things. The people become more conscious, and it is a worldwide thrift stores, and everything is happening. So this is a very good need of our, saving the clothes going to the landfill. So basically diverting from the landfill, and extending the life cycles. Because see, today, due to the fast fashion, at 15%, if we can say 80 billion of the textiles, during the manufacturing process, 15% of the textiles goes to the landfill. And we if we can say, so there is a many things in the value chains, from the from the fiber to the fashion to the we can say the foreign. So from making to the all the stage, there is a lots of the carbon emissions is created, so each and every step, it is a very big challenge. But yeah, need to be more conscious about all that things. As we talked about the green business earlier, so what we do, so what we are doing, we are training the, so what, see, I hear just now I'm talking about the Banko Janko. What the Banko Janko is doing? Banko Janko is more focused about the textile upcycling. What we are doing, I'm in a fashion industry for more than 34 years, and I realized during the manufacturing process, lots of the textiles goes to the landfill. And we started making the product from that, and we got a very good response from the customers. And then my daughter told me to start the your brand. And at this, this is my startup baby, Banko Janko. Banko is the art decoration creation, and Janko is from the junk. So like this, the name arise. And we use the pre-consumer textile scraps from the manufacturing unit and convert it into the product. And this is all by supporting the by women empowerment in the channels. We work with rescue home, shelter home, juvenile centers in many states. Yeah. So let him start.
Yeah, I think Dr. Atif is here again. Hello, welcome back. We were actually learning
hello,
more
everybody.
about.
I apologize. Yeah,
No
I'm
worries.
so sorry. Yeah, it seems that the internet connection is not working well, and this is it's very strange. Yeah, it seems that when in Cairo times, when we are in evenings, it seems that it's the internet connection is not good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's when you
US,
needed it the most.
it needed
Like when you need
yeah,
it the most, this is what happens.
yeah. So sorry for that. Yeah.
No worries.
I'm just will present again, the So we were talking about, the amount of textile waste, and this is, as I said before, that this is a huge, number of textile waste. It's nearly about 92 million tons per year. And as my colleagues just was talking about, the long process of making clothes and the fashions. But let me tell you that, a fashion industry merely is responsible for 2.1 billion tons of greenhouse gas emissions. Yeah. And I will say it again, 2.1 billion tons. So what happened that, to our, climate, to the planet, to our life, to all aspects of the life, when we know that 2.1 billion tons of green gas emissions from, the textile industry and the fashion. Yeah. So that is, which is bigger than, the international life. Textile industry is the second largest polluter in our world. From just making the of course, the first is gas and oil. The second one is the fashion and
We lost Dr. Atif again. That's a very interesting session. Can we go back to Bhavini? Are you still with us?
Yes.
So we were talking.
Yes, about green business. So we are training the women in many states in India, in Himachal Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and in the Rescue Home, Shelter Home, Juvenile Center. So we help them to learn about the upcycling. We do many workshops in the colleges. So our mission is to educate the people, educate the young designers and come up with a new design thinking level, changing their design thinking level in utilizing the resources which is already available in the earth. So we do many workshops for the upcycling of the textiles, and we make the products from the and one another thing. So now today, many companies are also become more conscious about their sustainability, corporate gifting, and so many things. Just now, I would like to give one example. So in Intellicap, Avishkar Group, they have done events they do many events, right? Sankalp, they have done in Africa Sankalp event. For that, we made the lanyards. That the lanyards is that the badge identity card, is used for, so that are made from the textile scraps, and this is a reusable. After that, you can use it for many things, so like that. Now each and every one, every company has to become a more conscious about their product or a gift or event requirement, or like that. So there are many sustainable products are available in the market, like the sustainable papers and all that things. And also we are also, whatever the scraps remains from that, we convert it into the story page thank you card that is made from the textile waste itself. So whatever is not used, that we convert it into the story page and thank you card. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, Dr. Atif, if you can share with us then more about the green. We were talking now just about the green fashion, and of course, I'm curious to know more about the Hiya. Then we can move to the green fashion.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah,
No worries.
I'm very angry because actually, the connection is
No,
not
don't be.
clear.
It's
Maybe I
going
will fight
smooth.
with the
It's going
company.
smooth. No worries.
Sorry. Okay. It's I'm quite sure that you don't know this woman. Yeah. Actually, this woman is my grandmother, and her name is Bahaya. She came from a very poor area from Upper Egypt. Yeah, and then she was illiterate. She died many decades ago. Yeah. But when I was just a child, this woman was a very strong woman. Yeah. She has something like, the weapons in her room, the needle and the threads, everything. The socks, for example, she uses, even it was torn, torn socks or something like that. She was, making stitches, trying to just to repair, the socks. Even, she was using, the rags, pieces of cloth at that time, because actually in her time, the ready-made clothes industry was not bigger, was not big at like, today. And she was using, the rags and the pieces of the cloth to make the carpets, everything from the old, clothes or the torn clothes, they used it and for cleaning, the floor, using in the kitchen, something like that, yeah. So she was very skilled woman at that time, how to use, the threads, the needle, and to use what we call it the natural resources, which she had at that time in order to make her clothes. And I was just, 7 or 10 years at that time. And I said, okay, every time, Nanny, you are doing, this job. And she told me one day, this job is one of the skills which I learned from her mother, So it seemed, that this woman is like to keep everything. She doesn't throw, anything from the cloth or even, the old or the torn clothes, but she was using that. And I'm just, because actually we are talking about, the green fashion, or what we call it, the slow fashion, which is, the opposite of the fast fashion, which is the main source of pollutants and pollutions in our world. Yeah. What we need is just not only to make, the green fashion in our world is the only way for clothing manufacturing. This is, of course, because actually, all aspects of the life affected by, the clothes, which is the largest, industry, and after, the gas and the oil, I mean, the pollutions, So we wanted to just to respect, the animals and even, the environment and people, As you see in the pictures, this is just only, the clothes is 100% organic, So we can use it and recycle it again, Okay. Wanted to just, finally, it seemed that we have to, to rethink our way. The framework of, the chain of the textile industry, not in my country only, but all over the world. Although we have approach and the trend for the green fashion, but also it's still, still slow, and at the same time, it doesn't, because actually this kind of industry is maybe very costly, and it's and also not all the people work in that field or in this industry. So please, it just only we wanted to adopt, the R4. That is, replace. I mean, they replace the clothes and reducing and recycle and rethinking. So my advice for most of my colleagues is just look at, please, shop from sustainable and ethical fashion trends. And and imagine that, the world is spent $2.3 trillion in 2021 just only to buy, clothes. it's not, billion, it's trillion. This is, of course, a very big number of money. And some people expected that, this number, the money will increase, the spending will increase in 2028 to be 3.4 trillion. So what happened that it seemed that we wanted to just, to buy less. I know that, the man has a lust of buying, clothes. For me, when I just walking in the downtown and just see, the showroom or something like that, and see a very nice T-shirt, okay, oh, okay, I need this. I want to buy this shirt or need to buy this dress or something like that. However, we have to know that there is a risk. It's just only when we buy less, that means that, many textile and, ready-made clothes companies maybe will stop, because actually no one will buy from it, because actually it related to, supply and demand. And even, what will happen to the workers for the textiles and the industry, for textile and also, the fashion designers or fashion factories, something like that. Because actually, all of us know that, the textile industry, millions of people work in this industry, millions. It needs a huge number of people to work in. So what will happen to the economy? And when we adopt, buy less or something like that. And like Bahia, my grandmother, okay, please, don't sell your clothes, okay? But you can use it. And also, most of, what happened to these clothes, it consists of synthetic and non-biodegradable fiber, and will just pile up in the landfills, as we do now, yeah. And at the same time, if you have, clothing, try to repurpose like my grandmother. And, even, try to learn how to repair your clothes. Or even you don't know, you have to go to the stores or the people, specialists in, repairing, the old clothes or torn clothes or something like that. Yeah. And donate, because actually, in some enterprises and some, societies in our community now, they need, like Risala Charity, or this is a very famous charity society in my country. They take, the old clothes, you can donate, the old clothes to them, and they washing them and, ironing them and giving, these clothes to the poor people. Yeah. And of course, finally, it's in order to save our planet, yeah, you have to, to communicate with the people and spread, okay, this is, the second largest pollutants industry in our world. Trillions, millions tons. We don't know, give more attention to that, yeah. So thank you so much, yeah, because actually, and I apologize again, for, the unstable internet connection, and let's just, open, the floor for participants to participate if they have questions or comments or suggestions related to the issue of fashion and the climate change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Atif, and I hope that everyone also enjoyed the session. We actually were using the time where you were disconnected to also share some ideas, some thoughts, and I would like to also introduce you to Bhavini, who have her company about recycling or producing fashion, slow fashion. And it's called Banco Junko, a lovely name and very rhythmic. So we were actually talking more about how slow fashion could also contribute to, and she was sharing with us that more and more companies are now moving towards having, for example, gift cards that has this value and that has this sense of slow fashion and earth and environment friendly. And this where my question actually is. I think it needs to have, or it needs to be a trendy thing for it to take or to replace the current practices of how we dress up, how we consume also this market and deal with it. But of course, I would like to hear from anyone who want to contribute and share their thoughts on how we can more shift towards that. And is it really easy for us to move from the very fast fashion and also with the peer pressure and with the community pressure? For example, my mother pressure is one of these pressures that I have personally, where she always insist on me, like, just go buy new clothes. And I'm one of those persons who do not really buy a lot of clothes. So what could help us shift towards the slow fashion more?
You can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, let me that, the first step for the slow fashion is awareness, yeah. I mean, the awareness, it's the first step in just making, what we call it, awareness about, the dangers of, the fast fashion. Because, the fast fashion is the opposite of the slow fashion, yeah. So if, the people don't know the dangers of synthetic, materials, which we use in our clothes, the plastics, the microplastics, and how these clothes, maybe go to the oceans, the seas, the rivers, even, the waste of, the chemical from the dyeing process go to, the water. And also, what will happen to, the soil and the landfills, because actually it's biodegradable, materials, and it needs, years in order to dissolve it. So I think that, awareness is very important. The second, rethinking. I mean, rethinking in the way of, doing our, our clothes here. Let me tell you something. In some, movie stars in Egypt, yeah, they are wear, sometimes they wear, very strange clothes, yeah. And what, maybe in the movies or maybe in TV programs or something like that, what happened, the youth people are trying just to imitate them. And, but they don't know that, it just, the fast fashion, that it maybe just used one and that's all. And then we'll throw it out here. So it seems that, the awareness comes, from the well-known figures in the communities. And do we have, strategy for the slow fashion, or what we call it, sustainable, fashion, or what we call it green fashion? Do we have that? It, it starts from the, even, the farmers, now they should know how they can make, the plant, like cotton, for example, or something like that. Or linen, it seemed that we wanted to just to increase the areas of, the organic materials. However, this will not be enough, because actually it will be expensive, and also it will not be in the hands of everyone. I'm just, trying to say to all of you that, the planet is suffering a lot from the textile industry and the fast fashion industry. And we need, to find a solution in our community. The social enterprises can play an important role. This is maybe the third solution for that. we need entrepreneurs, okay, to work in that field, to how we can use the waste of textiles and how we can stop, the speed up of the fast fashion. Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you. Yeah.
And I think this would be a really good connection to the comment that Bhavini just shared. So yes, we need more social entrepreneurs like Bhavini, who have really good news about companies partnering with her for gifting sustainable products. This is amazing. And I would also like to mention, Dr. Atif, that Bhavini has trainings or provide trainings and capacity building in that specific area. So I think connecting with her later would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that, I would like to remind you all that you can you know that we have the Catalyst Awards, where we use this as a recognition to those who contribute to the social entrepreneurs ecosystem and support them, whether they are government, donors, organizations. And I would like also to have you suggesting some names, nominating those who think worth the recognition. Of course, join Catalyst Market, and I'm sure Bhavini has its products there. And I will make sure that I shop some of these sustainable products there. And please make sure that you always share your thoughts, have these amazing sessions where we get to know each other, and most importantly, reach out whenever you have any questions or would like to contribute and build your own collaboration about something that you see is still missing in the collaborations at Catalyst 2030. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Atif, for keeping up with the internet and still presenting. That's amazing. And I would love to get to know each one of you more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely evening. Salam.
Thank you. You too.